Hi, everybody. It's time for the 2022 Oscar predictions, the movies that I think will win and the movies that I think should win in each category. A couple things before we start. One, this is all just for fun, okay? There's nothing like if you have different predictions, that's okay. If you have different desired picks, that's okay too. We can all hold hands and get along and enjoy movies together. Secondly, kind of how I do predictions and picks. I give myself one prediction in every category, and I give myself two desired picks in every category. Just because sometimes, it's hard for me to pick between two different performances that I really like, or something like that. And so I always allow myself a second desired pick. A lot of these categories, though, I really enjoy like four or five or all five of the nominees. But you got to pick like one or two favorites, or you have one clear favorite. So that's kind of how I do picks and predictions. And then number three, I'm not going to be talking about the short films. Nobody has really seen all of them, and so I don't feel super qualified talking about them. Let's jump right in, starting with Best Picture. Best Picture has gotten really interesting the past couple weeks. Power of the Dog. It was their race the entire time. They won all of these different critics awards. They won the Golden Globe. They won all this stuff. And then all of a sudden, the little indie that could, called Coda, started sneaking in, started swimming up, and they started, hey, people, watch our movie, and you'll see it's actually really good. And people saw it, and they're like, oh man, it is really good. And so now Coda has a genuine shot. Now, how does this little indie movie from Apple TV Plus start becoming a contender against Power of the Dog, which got 12 nominations, which was the overwhelming favorite for so long? What happened to where Coda is now the favorite? I think it starts with Troy Kotsur. You had Cody Smith-McPhee in the Best Supporting Actor category, who was winning a lot of critic circles, and then Troy Kotsur started winning, and people started seeing that Troy Kotsur, who is a deaf actor, it was awesome to get to see him on stage and give a speech. He's just become a fan favorite for almost everybody. I think he delivers a beautiful performance in that movie, and we'll talk more about him when we get to supporting actor. But I think the Coda kind of wave starts with him, and he starts becoming more of a favorite, and he's becoming a favorite, and people are like, wow, this is really cool. And then Coda wins the SAG Award, the Screen Actors Guild, and people loved seeing the Coda family on stage. They do this thing, which is I love you in sign language, and it's just a beautiful image to see that whole team kind of go up on stage and win the award. And so Coda wins the SAG. Coda wins the PGA Award, which is the Producers Guild Award. And the Producers Guild is important because not only is the best picture celebrating the producers and the entire movie as a whole, but the PGA is voted on in the same way that the Oscars are. And so if you'd have asked me about a week ago, I probably would have said Power of the Dog. In fact, I did say Power of the Dog about a week ago. Now I am on the Coda train. I think Coda is going to win this award. That is my official prediction. The tide is just turning, and when the tide turns at the Oscars, they usually don't go back to what was the overwhelming favorite. Look at a film like La La Land and Moonlight winning over La La Land. La La Land had 14 nominations. That is tied for the most of all time. And it still doesn't win Best Picture because Moonlight has this late surge. Moonlight is able to take over. A couple of years later, you have Roma getting beat by Green Book. Roma getting 10 nominations and is the overwhelming favorite. Everybody thought that was a lock of a prediction, and then Green Book gets this surge. It becomes the feel-good movie of the year, and Green Book ends up winning Best Picture. And then the year after that, you have 1917, which is this huge favorite, gets over-nominated in Screenplay, and then Parasite comes and just sweeps at the Oscars. And so it's this really strange kind of phenomenon that happens. That's happened a lot recently at the Oscars with late surges, and you can't ignore it. And in almost every single case, every late surge or tide change that happens, it usually ends up doubling down on that. And so I predicted Roma for that Oscars. I predicted 1917 for that Oscars, and I'm not making that same mistake again. I'm predicting Coda for the Oscar. if Power of the Dog wins, then I have to eat my own words. But I think Coda is going to win. Coda is just the feel-good movie of the year. It is a beautiful movie. Everybody loves seeing the team of Coda go up on stage and accept the award. It's the move. I think it's gonna take it. So, Coda's my official prediction. For my desired picks, I'm going to go with Dune or King Richard. Those are both excellent movies. Dune was my favorite movie of the year. So if I had like a true favorite, it'd be Dune. I just thought that movie was so masterfully made, and really adapts the story of Dune really, really well. But Coda, I think, is my prediction. Coda, I think, is going to win. But we'll see. We'll see Sunday night if I'm wrong. Jumping into Best Director, this is one of the biggest locks of the night. This is Jane Campion for Power of the Dog. She has literally won everywhere. She has not lost. If Power of the Dog loses all of its other nominations, it's still going to win Best Director, which it has a shot of doing that. But yeah, Jane Campion is a lock for this. For my desired pick, I have to go with Steven Spielberg here. I would have gone with Denis Villeneuve, but they snubbed him. But that's okay. Not really, but that's fine. Steven Spielberg is my desired pick here. I think Steven Spielberg just has this magic to him. Anytime you watch any of his movies, he can take a kind of a basic kind of premise or a simple kind of premise and just make it so magical and so much fun to watch. And you see his care for whatever movie you're watching. You see that. You see his care and his devotion to the film in every movie of him you watch. If you watch something like Raiders of the Lost Ark or E.T., or Close Encounters of the Third Kind, or, for example, West Side Story this year, all of those movies, you can just see how much he cares about that story. You can see how much he cares about that film, and it just has this unspeakable magic. You can just see how much care Spielberg puts into this movie, and I think with West Side Story, he crafted something freaking impressive to not only like match up to the 1961 film, but in my opinion, to make a better film than it. I thought West Side Story was awesome. I think Steven Spielberg's directing is just on another level. There's a reason why this dude is regarded as one of the best directors of all time. Like, he's just so good. So that would be a huge surprise if he won, but I think Jane Campion's kind of got this locked up, so she's going to win. Alrighty, moving on into the performances for Best Leading Actress. This was a wide open race a few weeks ago, and now it's locked up for Jessica Chastain. I'm super happy that she is winning. Her performance was just so good. She is very overdue for an Oscar. Man, she's just so good in that movie, and she's one of my desired picks as well. If I had another desired pick, I'd go with Kristen Stewart in Spencer. I wasn't the biggest fan of Spencer as a movie. I liked The Eyes of Tammy Faye a little bit more as a movie, but Spencer is really, really well crafted, and Kristen Stewart's performance in that movie is just off the chains awesome. She is so good in that movie. But Jessica Chastain in The Eyes of Tammy Faye is that type of performance that just wins an Oscar. Like, it's just, when you watch it, it's just the performance to beat. And so I'm really happy she started winning everywhere. And I'm really happy that she's basically got this locked up because she was so good. For Best Leading Actor, it's Will Smith. It's been Will Smith, and it will continue to be Will Smith. Benedict Cumberbatch showed that he might be a challenger for a little bit, but Will Smith, even winning at the BAFTAs, which is the British awards, over Benedict Cumberbatch, who is British, like, if that doesn't tell you that Will Smith is winning this award, I don't know what other proof I can give to you. Will Smith is just winning everywhere. Will Smith is going to win this award. And again, another performer that's just so overdue for an Oscar. It's kind of surprising that Will Smith doesn't have an Oscar at this point, especially with a film like Pursuit of Happiness, which he is so good in. Yeah, it's just weird that he doesn't have an Oscar. But Will Smith is going to get his Oscar on Sunday. I'm really, really excited that he is. He is my desired pick as well. I also loved Andrew Garfield in Tick, Tick, Boom. He was so good in that movie. Played Jonathan Larson really, really well. But Will Smith, just like I loved King Richard. Will Smith is so good in that movie. And yeah, I'm so happy he's gonna win. For supporting actress, this is like one of the biggest locks of the night. This is Ariana DeBose. She is literally won everywhere. Like, there's not a single place where she has lost, I don't think, for West Side Story. And she was so good in that movie. I'm really happy she's gonna win. But my true favorite in this category is Ingenue Ellis in King Richard. When I watched King Richard, first off, I was blown away. I just thought it was so good. The emotion, the writing, the directing, it was just all really, really good. But Ingenue Ellis was such a standout as Venus and Serena's mother in that movie. She is just so good. There's one scene in particular that she's just incredible in. But she's great throughout the whole movie, and she's so likable. She just gives off that mom energy that you just like in a performance like that. And so she's my favorite, and she's my personal pick to win this award. But Ariana DeBose is sweeping, and there's no universe where she doesn't win this.
Hi, so I'm an idiot and I forgot to record Best Supporting Actor. This is an easy one though. Troy Kotzer's got this locked up. Troy Kotzer's my desired pick. There's no other way to say it. I mean, Coda, its late surge is proving that Troy Kotzer is a sure lock for this. So, pick and prediction, Troy Kotzer.
All right, moving on to the Screenplay Awards. Original Screenplay is a bit of a toss-up. Is kind of between Belfast and Licorice Pizza. Both of them have been winning in different places. Belfast winning Critics' Choice, Belfast winning the Golden Globe, Licorice Pizza winning Critics' Choice, and then the Writers Guild did something really, really strange and gave it to Don't Look Up. Belfast was not eligible, so this was like a freebie for Licorice Pizza. And the Writers Guild still goes for Don't Look Up, which is really, really strange. And tells me that the Writers Guild might not be as big on Licorice Pizza. I had the Licorice Pizza prediction in there for a while, and when that happened, I really started thinking like, oh wow, like maybe Belfast, this is just their award. And so my official prediction is going to be Belfast. Licorice Pizza definitely does have a shot to pull this off, but just given the major precursors, it's hard for me to vote against Belfast. And given what happened at the WGA Awards, I can't not vote for Belfast, if that makes sense. It's hard for me to vote for Licorice Pizza for the prediction, at least. Now, my desired pick is going to be King Richard. You know I love King Richard. I just gushed about that movie. I just thought the dialogue was so good. I thought the writing was really, really good. I love how you kind of see Richard's flaws throughout the movie, but you see how much he cares for Venus and Serena and their family. Like, it's just really, really solid writing when you can like address somebody's flaws, but you also like recognize like their good nature. It's a tough balance to have in a movie, and King Richard nails that. And so that's my favorite in original screenplay. And I think Belfast is going to be my prediction. For best adapted screenplay, it looked like Power of the Dog had this for a while. And again, but Coda was just started swimming, just started getting better. And so Coda is my prediction, and Coda was my desired pick too. I just loved that movie. It's just so beautiful. The dialogue is just so authentic. It just feels like a very authentic movie. And that's like, I think that's the best part about Coda, is that not only does it feel realistic, it just feels authentic, and it just feels very sincere, and I really, really appreciate that. So Coda is my prediction. It's my pick. With this late surge that Coda is having, if it's going to win anything outside of supporting actor, it's going to win the Screenplay Award. Best international film, this is an easy one to predict. This is Drive My Car. It was the only foreign film to be nominated for Best Director and for Best Picture, and so, like, you know, when that happens, there's no other option. It's like Parasite was the only foreign film to be nominated in Best Picture. Roma was the only foreign film to be nominated for Best Picture. So it's like, what else do you vote for here? Like, it's obviously going to be Drive My Car this year. My desired pick is actually going to be The Worst Person in the World, and I'm so happy that I got nominated for Screenplay, because I probably wouldn't have watched that movie if had it not been nominated for Screenplay. But because it got nominated in Best Original Screenplay, I decided to seek it out, and it was actually showing in a theater here locally, and I loved it. I thought it was really, really good. I thought it was a beautiful kind of portrait of like what love looks like in the modern day. Drive My Car is great as well. It is just a little slow. It's 3 hours long, and it's a drama, so there's not a ton that is happening throughout the whole film. And so it's a bit of a watch, and I definitely felt the length at times, which is why I'm probably going Worst Person in the World for my desired pick. But like I said, Drive My Car, again, the only international film to be nominated in director and picture, and so it's hard to vote against it. It's gonna win. For best animated feature, Encanto is just that like Disney movie to beat. It has 2 other nominations outside of animated feature. So Encanto, it just seems like it's gonna be that movie. My desired pick is Mitchell's versus the Machines. Easily my favorite animated movie of the year. It was just so good. I loved the style of that movie. I just thought it was really, really well put together. Encanto was good. I wasn't the biggest fan of it at the end of the day. But it's gonna win. Like, maybe Mitchell's wins. Mitchell's did win the Critics' Choice Award, and Mitchell's did win the Annie Award, which is the animated awards. But this happened a couple years ago with Klaus winning in a couple different areas, and Toy Story 4 just proved to be the Disney movie to beat. And so I think that's the same case here. I think Encanto is just the movie to beat, and I have no reason to vote against it. For best documentary feature, this is an easy one. My pick and my prediction is Summer of Soul. I'm so happy that they didn't snub the frontrunner this year like they usually do. When I was reacting to the nominations, that was just pure relief when I saw that on there. And it's so good. It's just such a beautiful documentary, so well put together. And Questlove is like one of my favorite like musicians working right now. He's probably my favorite drummer right now. And so like I'm just so happy he's going to win an Oscar. And this is such a great film, and it makes me really excited for what he's going to make in the future. Now we roll into the segment that I like to call the Dune Tech Sweep. Now, the Dune Tech Sweep, basically Dune's gonna win almost all of these technical awards, and that's how this is gonna go. Like, Dune is just an overwhelming favorite in the technical categories. There's a couple where there are other movies that are kind of surging kind of ahead of it, and it might give it a run for its money, but it's hard to tell what categories Dune might lose. And so I'm just predicting Dune for all of these, because like I said, I don't know if it's going to lose one or two. I don't know which ones it's going to be. And so it's hard for me to vote. I just can't predict against it. So let's start the Dune Tech Sweep with cinematography. All right. Dune it's just got it, man. Power of the Dog is like the challenger to cinematography for Dune. But I still think this goes to Dune. It won the Cinematographers Guild Award. The only one it like didn't win was Critics' Choice, and Power of the Dog is kind of like a Critics' Choice thing to do. Power of the Dog was very much like a critic's favorite more than it was like an audience favorite or anything like that. Now, my desired pick for cinematography is Tragedy Macbeth. I loved Tragedy Macbeth. I loved how it was shot. A24 films are just really, really well shot. Like, I love that I can rely on some good cinematography from A24, and I'm happy Tragedy Macbeth got nominated here because I was worried that it was just going to get completely skunked at the Oscars. But I'm happy it got some nominations, like Denzel for lead actor, cinematography, and then production design, which we will get into later. So that's my desired pick. Dune was also like obviously a beautiful looking movie. It's my favorite movie of the year, so obviously it has to have some good cinematography if it's my favorite. So Dune's my prediction. My true favorite though is Tragedy Macbeth, and so that's my desired pick. But Dune's I think got this in the bag. Editing has been a really weird category this year. Dune has won in a lot of pretty major places, but then you had stuff like King Richard winning the Eddie Award, which is the editor's branch or the editor's guild. And then you had West Side Story, which isn't even nominated, winning at the Critics' Choice Awards. And so it's kind of just been split everywhere. King Richard, I think, could challenge it. I just don't see like how that could beat out Dune when Dune is just kind of like an overwhelming favorite. Like King Richard could win, and I could be eating my own words on Oscar night, but I have no reason to vote against Dune for my prediction. And so I'm going with Dune for my prediction. Again, this is one that Dune could possibly lose, but I just have to predict it because I don't know. I don't have any reason to vote for King Richard besides it's Eddie win, and that's not enough for me totally. So Dune is my prediction. Dune is also one of my desired picks. I also love the editing of Tick Tick Boom. I like the way it kind of balances out the actual like the musical performance with the actual story and how it kind of goes back and forth and how it kind of replicates itself with or how it kind of mirrors itself throughout the story. I thought that was really good, but Dune, I'm gonna lock in Dune. Dune is my prediction and one of my desired picks as well. Production design. This is another one that Dune could potentially lose, but between the two different awards at the production design Guild Awards, it was Dune and Nightmare Alley. So if anything's going to challenge Dune, it's Nightmare Alley. But I think Dune's world building was just so strong and so well done. So I'm going to go with Dune here. Dune I think is just so good. And Tragedy Macbeth is actually another desired pick here. The production design in that movie gives it a very like ethereal kind of feel. It feels very, I don't know what the best word is for it. I think ethereal is probably the best word for it. It just feels like off, but it's a really cool vibe. Like watch the movie and it'll make sense to you. Like it just has that feel with the production design and how the sets are made and stuff like that. Like it just looks really, really cool. And so I really love Tragedy Macbeth's production design. And if that won, I would be so stoked. But I think Dune's got this one, and if anything's going to challenge it, it'll probably be Nightmare Alley. For visual effects, if you don't predict Dune here, then you are missing an easy bet at the Oscars. Dune easily has this locked up. As much as I love Spider-Man or Shang-Chi, it is Dune, man. Like obviously Dune's going to win visual effects. Has 10 nominations. Like, come on. The visual effects in that movie are so good. That's also my desired pick as well, if you can't tell. Dune had just brilliant visual effects. So, it's Dune. Like, I don't know what else to say. I'm just going to keep going because it's Dune. For sound, that's another one it's Dune, man. Like, Dune is just winning the sound award. Like, when you watch that movie, the sound, man, is so good in that movie. And like Dune's sound design is just so good. The sound work on that movie is so impressive. And so that's my desired pick as well. Like it's just Dune all the way, man. Like Dune's winning sound, and like if they still had the split sound mixing and sound editing, Dune would win both. So that's where we're at. Dune's just easily winning sound. For costume design, Cruella is kind of like the favorite here. It's just basically winning everywhere. And I didn't really like the movie as much, but the costumes in that movie are awesome. It's a whole movie about fashion and how innovative fashion is. And so like obviously it's going to win. It has the most costumes, has the best costumes, it has the most creative costumes. And so I have to go for it. It's just really, really impressive. Anytime like she started designing a dress in that movie, I was like, ooh, I'm really excited to see what this looks like. Anytime she makes some big grand entrance, I was just always fascinated with like what the dress was going to look like. There's like the trash bag dress, which was really, really cool. So I don't recommend the movie as a whole. I think it's really hard to take seriously. But the costumes are really, really good. So if you're a fan of watching for costumes, Cruella is a good one to watch because it's going to win. That's my desired pick as well. For best original score, this is another one that Dune is just going to win. Hans Zimmer, just sweeping, man, just sweeping throughout all the awards. His score for Dune is just so creative, so innovative, and it's just unlike anything I've ever heard before. Dune that's my favorite score of the year also, so obviously it's my desired pick, and I'm very happy Hans Zimmer is going to have a second Oscar. He's a guy who like why doesn't he have a second Oscar at this point? Like, he's only won for Lion King and nothing else. He didn't win for Interstellar. He didn't win for The Dark Knight or Inception or any of that. He didn't win for any of that. And so that's a guy who deserves a couple more Oscars. And so I'm happy Dune's score is going to give him that second Oscar that he needs. For best original song, No Time to Die is just kind of cleaning house. Billie Eilish, I think, is just coming for that award. And I've been a fan of that song since that song came out in February of 2020, which is 2 years ago, which is crazy. But that was just such a great song, and it pairs well with the movie. And Bond songs usually win, like Adele winning for Skyfall back in 2012. Even Sam Smith's not great Bond song, Writing on the Wall for Spectre, that still won, and that wasn't a great song in my opinion. But No Time to Die is a beautiful song. I think it's just an amazing song. So that's my pick. That is my prediction. My other desired pick is Be Alive by Beyonce from King Richard. That's also a really, really good song. But No Time to Die has that song has just stuck with me since that song came out, and it's the one I want to win, and I'm glad it's going to. And finally, we have Best Makeup and Hairstyling. The Eyes of Tammy Faye has just kind of been winning everywhere, and so that is my prediction. That is my desired pick. I think it's just really, really well done. It's not as widely impressive as something like Dune or even House of Gucci, because those just have more prosthetics, but I think the Eyes of Tammy Faye's prosthetics really support the film and the performances in the best way. And so when I'm looking at what hair and makeup is used the best, I have to go with Eyes of Tammy Faye. Now, I loved the Dune hair and makeup, especially the prosthetics on the Baron. Oh my gosh, they look so good. And just the way they make the Harkonnens look is just really, really good, really, really impressive, and it just adds to that world. And so I wouldn't be mad if that ended up winning. But Eyes of Tammy Faye, I think, just supports the performances really well, especially Jessica Chastain's. She's just so good. She vanishes in that movie. When I watched it for the whole back 3/4 of the movie, I was looking for Jessica Chastain, and I was like, I know this is Jessica Chastain, and she's just gone. I don't see her. That's the prediction. That's the desired pick. I think just the hair and makeup in that movie is really, really good. And that is it. Those are my predictions for the 2022 Oscars. I'm anticipating getting a couple of these wrong, but I like to think that I can go 100%. Never happens, but maybe. I don't know. Yeah. Those are my predictions. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys are predicting down in the comments below. What do you think is going to win Best Picture? Is Coda going to just continue to ride with the momentum, or is Power of the Dog going to take it back? Let me know what you think in the comments. Expect a prediction or a reaction video on Monday. With my reaction to the Oscar winners. I'll have a couple friends with me as well. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys at the Oscars.